Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great night. I'm gonna be going full screen here. Hunter should be texting me if he's able to stop in. He said he probably will not have time to stop by tonight. Sorry about that. You'll be able to see scores above me, scores below me. Currently, the Pittsburgh Penguins are playing the Buffalo Bills. Penguins are 28-15-12. The Bills are 32-18-6, and the Penguins are currently up 3-1 with about 4 minutes and 9 seconds left in the second. Islanders are tied with the Devils 1-1. Well, welcome to the Northeast Ohio Sports Show with me, Liam. Normally with my cousin Hunter, and he might be able to stop by. We'll have to see about that a little bit later. This is episode 42. Jackie's number. It is currently February 5th, 2026. Hope everyone's having a great night. Once again, you can see some scores above me, below me, and above me for the Super Bowl. That's this Sunday. We also have NASCAR starting up in 2 weeks. Daytona, we'll be talking about that here in a little bit. Hope everyone's having a great week. We're going in. We got one more day, and it's Friday, so won't be too bad. Stop this work computer real quick and close this bad boy. Sorry about that. Take a sip of water, and I'm ready to go. Our first topic will be a quick funny topic, which is about Caleb Williams' Uber Eats jokes. Last week, the Chicago Bears found themselves at the center of one of the internet's favorite sports pastimes, turning a quarterback into a meme. This time it was rookie quarterback Caleb Williams. But he's a rookie 2 years ago. He went viral to a short clip circulating on social media, jokingly claimed that he was working as an Uber Eats delivery driver during the off-season. The video itself was simple and blurry, a guy who vaguely resembled Williams stepping out of a car in delivery gear. That's all it took. Within hours, Bears Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram was all over it. Jokes exploded across timelines, so that's funny as I see, especially since he got out of the playoffs pretty early. Sort of decent, though. Me and Hunter talked a lot about that, how well he did. We're going to the NFL. Sorry, not NFL. F1. Because of NFL, we kind of already talked about. We got the Super Bowl happening this Sunday. New England versus Seattle. Me and Hunter talked about it last week. We hoped Seattle's going to win, and we think they might. They're more an all-around team. Drake May did not look good. I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago now. Yeah, a week and a half ago. During the AFC Championship game, it was mostly his defense, in my opinion. Me and Hunter were talking about that helped him get by. I think they're going to be an all-around team, and Sam Darnold might get a Super Bowl ring, which is crazy. But good for him, and that defense deserves it. We're going to F1. We have a new Williams livery. I'm looking at it right now. It's actually, I like it a lot. I think it looks cool. And the colors are actually pretty cool. It looks like navy blue with a little bit of baby blue in there. So pretty cool to see. American team for this next team. Season. Make sure to look it up at Williams F1 livery. Cadillac's F1 livery is the last one to be announced. And that's going to be announced during the halftime at during the Super Bowl, so don't forget that. That'll be exciting to see. I'm excited to see how it looks. The testing livery is pretty cool. It's all carbon fiber with this Cadillac logo on it. Then we have McLaren and Aston Martin's livery launches on February 9th, which is basically that Monday before the preseason test starts in Bahrain. First preseason test week is February 11th through the 13th. Second week is 18th through the 20th. And then, first weekend of March, we have our first F1 race, which is exciting to see. With the Barcelona Shakedown preseason testing wrap-up, which I kind of talked a lot about last week. Last week's headline story was F1 is the first collecting outing of the new 2026 cars at the Barcelona Shakedown test, Barcelona, Spain. This marked the first real track action under the new sweeping technical regulations, besides the sport racing. For liveries and car reveals, including the new power units and aerodynamic concepts that have reset much of a performance landscape we've seen. Data from the session showing drivers putting in significant mileage with updated machinery and teams using the run using the run to iron out reliability and gather baseline performance insights with the new engines. Community timing boosts from Reddit threads showed that some notable top lines were Fernando Alonso and Charles Leclerc among those posting competitive numbers. And surprisingly high lap counts of drivers like Ollie Berman, suggesting heavy running programs. Fan chatter also noted Barcelona testing was largely behind closed doors and won't have full traditional TV coverage. But that will change this for upcoming Bahrain sessions, which we'll see on F1, which will be cool to see. Drivers and team publicly reacted to new cars. Mercedes' George Russell described the power delivery and pace of a 26 car as impressive, highlighting just how different the new machines feel compared to 2025 machines. Lewis Hamilton posted really good times and really good lap times, so did Ferrari. So like Ferrari's going to be decent this year too. Lewis said he's really liking how the cars are. They're shorter, less weight. Some tech and team buzz. Longtime F1 technical guru Adrian Newey, now in Aston Martin, has sent a message to rivals about the AMR's 26 design philosophy, calling it aggressive in development as team prepares for preseason. They said, obviously with Adrian Newey, this Aston Martin has the best aerodynamics. It might not have the best engine, but if he could help out with aerodynamics, that should help out a lot. Williams revealed a press livery like I talked about at the start. Jack Doohan has been appointed Haas's reserve driver, which is a notable career moment for a young Australian as his Alpine departure. Good to see for him after he left. Once again, next big F1 stops in the calendar of a preseason testing in Bahrain. They have more TV coverage. These sessions are also historic in scale. Bahrain will host 6 full days of running under the new regulations. They'll also include the debut of a Cadillac F Formula F1 team as a Sports 11 entry. Mercedes already held its car launch, and McLaren and Aston Martin, like I said, will be coming up here soon. Really excited for Cadillacs. Analysts and former drivers have started speculating a pecking order for 2026. Mercedes have brought strong Barcelona running, and a solid base from 2025 is being tipped to lead the early title fight. Driver narratives. Fan discussions with media talk continue on Lewis Hamilton's future at Ferrari. With mixed results last year and a challenging adjustment to the new cars, some pundits have floated scenarios of a 7-time champion could consider early retirement if things don't click. Hopefully they do on these new regulations. These are better to the cars he's used to, so I'm hyped for it. IndyCar offseason. We talked a little bit about Trump floating this, and it's actually going to happen. Historical IndyCar race announcement in Washington, D.C. past week. It's sparking national conservation on both sides. It is the announcement of a brand new street race in Washington, D.C. set for August 21st through 23, 2026 as part of celebrations marking the United States' 250th birthday. President Donald Trump signed an executive order establishing the event, calling it the Freedom 250 Grand Prix, marking the first IndyCar street race in the nation's capital and potentially the most iconic road course spectacle ever staged in downtown Washington, which would be cool to see that. And expected to also feature cars racing nearly 200 miles per hour along the streets of a National Mall on Pennsylvania Avenue, merging motorsport with American landmarks and patriotic festivities. A lot of people are only mad about this for a couple reasons. One, because it was announced so late. IndyCar already announced their schedule, and then this came out. Basically, like, Trump waited too long. He could have, like, announced this a while back, and he should have. One of the reasons why that's a big deal is the government's going to be paying for everything, and we've already seen this. Like, I looked into it because I was wondering, and analysts have already talked about this. People online, a lot of these IndyCar YouTubers, teams did not want to pay to travel to another venue. You know what I mean? Especially months later, logistics are horrible for that. So the government's paying for all that, for all the IndyCar teams, everyone that's associated with IndyCar, all the security. It's going to be crazy. And it's a cool event, I won't lie. But us paying for that, every taxpayer, not every American taxpayer is an IndyCar fan. And I just have to be real with that. Personally, I kind of wish that this was announced before, and maybe IndyCar could have realized, okay, well, let's take out a race, and then we could have an East Coast race, and the teams could pay for it, and the government could only do security to help out or something like that. Because to me, it's kind of crazy. IndyCar owner Roger Penske joined the announcement and emphasized how the event blends freedom, invitation, and racing into a celebration for fans and the public. I think I talked to Tommy about this. It was funny, though, because Donald Trump asked him, how many Daytonas 500 did you win? Not really a Indy 500. And Penske said 3, and it's kind of funny because they're talking about IndyCar, but whatever. And Donald Trump said that's not that many. And he wasn't wrong, actually. He still won 3, and he means as a team owner. And, I mean, that's a decent amount. I won't lie. Some team owners have 0. But Hendricks, I have to look how many Hendricks have. They probably have 12. I wouldn't be surprised. Some of these teams that have this one Indy a lot, but same with, one in Daytona a lot. But, like, he has one Indy a lot. Penske has. And that's why he owns the sport. And the Indy 500 the actual venue. With such details of the exact route and logistics are still being refined, Trump gave him like 2 weeks or something to turn it in, and that's something that's crazy too. This wasn't even figured out yet. This announcement represents a significant boost to IndyCar's profile, drawing attention not just from racing fans, but from mainstream news outlets and national pride events, which would be kind of interesting to see. And well, the thing is, like, the awesome part about IndyCar is like, for YouTubers, the independent media that follows them, they're very mad about this, too, because they've already budgeted what races they want to go to, and now they're going to, and, like, logistically, got them hotels, and now they're going to have to say, well, am I going to pay more money for this year just to go to this special race? Is it going to be worth it? I won't lie. Maybe, all the hype, but listen, I won't even lie, because those type of independent guys, they have guys like me watching every week, so it's not like, you know what I mean? Every American's going to be like, oh, let's watch this independent guy on YouTube for this one race because it's the America race. They're just going to watch that America race on national TV and be done with it. So it would be nice for IndyCar to get them ratings for one race, but I don't know if that's going to even pay for half this crap. So it'll be interesting. There's a lot of testing and off-season momentum going on. Phoenix Open Car Test, 2-day test in the Phoenix Raceway, and another in April. Two remain on the calendar. The Phoenix Racer one's mid-February, and the April one's at Indy, for Oval. Several young drivers, including Dennis Hauger, Kyle Collot, and Mick Schumacher, are scheduled for important on-track programs ahead of the new season, ensuring that rookies get accumulated to the heavier and faster IndyCar machine. It would be interesting to see. In the developer mix, in the NXT, the IndyCar Feeder Series, continue to see lineup adjustments. The hit of a pipeline feature stars of the main IndyCar grid. Recent signs include drivers like Mato Ninetti and Timek Kozak, while teams like Chip Ganassi Racing expand their IndyCar NXT presence. Of course, they always want to get better drivers up for other teams in their IndyCar team. Real quick for NHL, Week 8, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins. Last Thursday, they played the Chicago Blackhawks, won 6-2. Silvers was their goalie. Montel was their MVP. Saturday, on my birthday, January 31st, they beat New York 6-5. Skinner was their goalie. D-War was their MVP. Monday, Ottawa, they lost 3-2. Silvers was their goalie. Chernikov was their MVP. Tuesday, against New York, they lost in overtime 5-4 against Islanders. They are currently 28-15-12. Skinner is the goalie. Brazo is the MVP back then. Today though, that's Tuesday. Today they're beating Buffalo, so that's good to see. Then they get the break for, obviously, it's happening, guys, Olympics. Hype for that. They'll be back February 26th against the Devils. That is a Thursday, so it will be a bit. Currently the standings in the Metropolitan. Carolina's first at 35-15-6 at 76 points. Pittsburgh's in second, 28-15-12 at 68 points. Islanders are behind us. We needed to beat the Islanders at 31-21-5 at 67 points. Then we have the Blue Jackets at 29-20-7 at 65 points. Good to see them coming back. Washington coming back as well, 28-23-7 at 63 points. Philly 25-20-10 for 60 points. Devils 26 28, 26, and 2. Sorry about that. 58 points. Last, Rangers. 22, 28, 6, 50 points. I'll probably go past this real quick. It's cool to see what the Penguins have been doing. Blackhawks, it was a big win of enthusiasm, high as Pittsburgh swept as part of their schedule and climbed to the Metro standings. Scored past Chicago Blackhawks, at PPG Pain 6-2 to dominate offensively, control play start to finish with multiple goals, contributing to a strong team performance. Overtime loss against the Islanders sucked. We knew that was going to be happening. So you had a wild game where both teams traded leads. I was listening to it, watched it. Bo Horvat scored the overtime goal, and despite strong efforts from Pittsburgh offense, they couldn't close it out. Suspension of defenseman Caleb Jones for 20 games for violating the league's performance-enhancing substance program. Sucks. That a medical treatment led to an unintended positive test. We'll see about that. And he's referred to the player assistant program. Hopefully we have a good depth on the blue line and how we're adjusting that. A fan incident during the Pittsburgh Penguins Islanders game. A fan altercation in the stands drew online attention. A Penguin supporter wearing a Gabby Malkin jersey was shown in a viral video being ejected and engaging in physical confrontations as he left UBS Arena. Although unrelated on a performance, stories like this tend substance and social media discussions about Penguins fan culture, especially during close games and how people get. So overall, fan and media chatter about recent games focus on Pittsburgh's high-scoring capabilities balanced against defensive lapses. We really need to play better defense. Help our goalie out. We've always been saying that. Their win over Chicago showcased offensive depths. Like I said, kind of what our loss against Islanders showed how we can get smacked sometimes. We have a very competitive Metropolitan Division right now, and we do not need to collapse, and points matter. Take a sip of water, and let's talk about the Blue Jackets. Alright, the Blue Jackets, went last Friday, January 30th. They won against Chicago as well, so Pittsburgh whooped them and the Blue Jackets whooped them. Great to see. 4-2. Mazingas was their MVP. Mazingas was their goalie. Cole was their MVP. Saturday on my birthday, 31st, they beat St. Louis 5-3. Greaves was their goalie. Johnson was their MVP. Tuesday, February 3rd, New Jersey Devils. They won 3-0. Doing very well. New Jersey not doing well. Mazingas was their goalie. Mazingas was their MVP. No goals. Wednesday, they beat Chicago again, 4-0. Awesome to see. I'm guessing Mazingas was their MVP and their goalie, but I'll have to check on that. They are off right now until they come back on February 26th, once again Thursday against Boston at 7 p.m. I'll check real quick if I stop by, because you can talk about the the Blue Jackets. If not, we will go into the Cleveland Cavaliers. It looks like, for Blue Jackets, they're extended to win 6 games. Standout performances like from Mazingas, Matthew Oliver, Charlie Coyle, and Kent Johnson. Great to see. Driven trending discussion around the playoff purse, scoring depth, and rising confidence, which is great to see. We're going to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I have to take a sip of water since. Last Wednesday, January 28th, the Cavs beat. We talked about that one, sorry. Friday, January 30th, Phoenix. They lost 126-113 because we suck. Hunter 17 points, Allen 7 rebounds, Mitchell 6 assists. Saturday, February 1st against Portland. We won 130 to 111. Allen had 40 points. Holy cow. Allen had 17 rebounds, and Jesus Christ, and a double-double. And Porter had 12 assists, so good to see. Yesterday we beat the Clippers, 124 to 119. Sorry, 124 to 91. Holy cow. That made us 31 to 21. Clippers are now 23 and 27. Mitchell had 29 points, Allen had 11 rebounds, and Mitchell had 9 assists. Another thing that happened yesterday was the Cleveland Cavaliers traded Hurt, 3-point winner, Darius Garland, to the Clippers, team we were playing yesterday, so that's kind of funny how this helped hurt them because James Harden. So James Harden had to be out yesterday. But we get for strip club, wing eating, barbecue, buffalo chicken wing loving man, James Harden to Cleveland, which actually I'm excited for because he gives us something that I just feel like Garland didn't have, and it was just being clutch and being consistent sometimes. You know, Garland could score, and he was a good 3-point shooter. He would get us some assists, but I feel like ever since Mitchell came into play, it really, if the ball was out of his hand less, he wasn't scoring as much. You know, I've been to Cavs games for the last 10 years. There were games where, you know, without Mitchell, Garland could basically kind of be a B-list Kyrie Irving. Good at the 3-point and could actually drive in the ball decently. You know what I mean? Even just go to the rim as a point guard. Decent assist, even a decent assist too. Not as good as handling as Kyrie, obviously, but shooting-wise and scoring. But now that he is older. I don't know how his. I actually was thinking about this. His stats have been this past couple years. Let's look at it. But I'm really excited. I think it'd help us out. And, you know, he's 36. His stats for this season are 25.4 points a game, 4.8 rebounds a game, 8.1 assists a game with about 42% field goal percentage, which is crazy. I'm excited to see that. Last time he played, actually, was January 30th, so I don't know if he was hurt, I have to check, or if that was just because they knew he was coming off a trading block, but he had 25 points then. Good 3-point shooter. But I don't think he's hurt right now either. They probably just stopped for a trading block. Yeah, he's not hurt. So they just knew he was about to get traded, and I'm happy we got him. He is older, but I think him and Mitchell, with Allen and some of our other good bigger guys, would be awesome to see. So I'm excited to see that. I really am. This episode wasn't going to be too long, but we'll talk a little bit about it. That's crazy. Career best 40-point night from Jared Allen. We knew there was a lot of 17 rebounds as well. And 5 assists. Donovan Mitchell chipped in 14 points and 9 assists, which is crazy to see. That was against Portland. Prior to that, Cleveland scheduled contests January 30th, 28th, and 26th. Missed the results, about 50%. Talked a little bit earlier. If we talked about that trade, and we'll talk about some more. Lonzo Ball was traded for Utah Jazz, and the free team trade involving Cavaliers and Hawks. The Jazz are expected to waive him, meaning Ball will likely become a free agent because he's Bull. So likely about salary dump and a luxury tax management for Cleveland. Again, James Harden. I'm really excited to get him. It's a major win. I saw Darius Garland sent vehicle away. Blockbuster trade, major buzz. Saturday killing push to become a true Eastern Conference contender in my eyes. You know, getting that Western Conference not as strong, and Clippers not as strong because they're trash. Cleveland president of basketball operations, Kobe Altman, released a statement underlying both excitement about Harden and gratitude towards Garland for his contributions, which is awesome to see. Very awesome and respectable to see that. Highlighting how his pivot signals a shift towards a title pursuit, which is good to see. Especially with Jared Allen's career night. I'm really excited to see how it will be. That's probably it for me, guys. I'm going to check one more time before Hunter can come. Hi, Daddy-O. Yep, it's all about winning now. He's 36. I don't know if he still got that big belly, because I don't know if you know, when he went to Houston, he basically went to strip clubs and ate a bunch of chicken wings, James Harden, and he got a big belly. So I don't know about that weight no more. I think he started losing it. They got Ozempic now for these basketball players. Um, let's see what his weight is. 220. That's not too bad. It's fluctuated a lot, but I think that's better than what it used to be. Yeah. He's worked on getting skinnier, so that's not bad. Okay, thank God. Good to see, good to see. Okay, what was his max weight? Doesn't say. So maybe it doesn't say when he was skinnier what his weight was. It would be alright. I mean, because when he was bigger, he was only scoring like 15 to 18 a night anyway. His scoring went down. Now he's like 25 points a night, being 36, so I think we'll be alright there. I really think that'll help us push, too. I don't know about to a championship, but we'll have to see, especially because, Boston's not as good as they used to be. They had some of their stars leave, too, so we'll have to see. Excited for that. We got the Super Bowl this weekend. That's really it for sports going on with these F1 testing happening this next current week after that, and in between that, 15th, we got Daytona 500 for NASCAR starting off. So we'll be excited to see that. Here in March, we got F1 starting. I believe same with IndyCar, so racing's almost about time to start going. So hope everyone has a great night, great Friday. One more day until the weekend, guys. We can make it. Hopefully we'll stay warm. I know it's going to be cold a little bit this weekend, but then it's going to be warmer. Starting next week, maybe get some snow melt. So enjoy, guys. Hope you all have a great night, Ohio.